What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Reselling History. This is Scott, and today I have a pretty special video because I have two unboxings for you guys. So both of these little boxes came from different estates. This one with the first aid kit I paid $50 for, and there's a lot of cool stuff in here. And there are a couple things that are military related and pretty valuable. And then this second smaller box I paid a whopping $140 for, and this one also has some military stuff and a couple other very potentially valuable collectibles. So let's get into it. Let's open this one first. Hopefully we can make a profit on this stuff. I'm leaning towards we probably will. But let's get digging. All right, before I open this up, if you guys aren't subscribed, please don't hesitate. Hit that subscribe button if you like this kind of content. I appreciate the support. All right, I got it open. And first, let's take a look at this first aid kit. So it's a mine safety first aid kit. That's very cool. Very cool. There's a lot of collectors out there for old mining equipment. And I'm not sure how old this is, honestly. It's probably like from the 30s to the 50s, that era. But it's a nice display piece. Not anything too valuable. It's probably worth 20 or 30 bucks, but that's pretty nice in itself. But let's take a look at what's inside of here. And this is a arrowhead coin collection. And unfortunately it's missing the arrowhead, but you got a buffalo nickel from 1936, and you have an Indian head penny from 1906. Pretty cool. Look like they're in pretty good condition. A lot of times these buffalo nickels, they get worn so fast, so the condition is not too bad. But that's a nice interesting find to start it off. All right, next up we have looks like emeralds, some stones. Yeah, tiny little emeralds. I'm not sure if those have much value as they are. Little belt buckle. You got some Disney Resort keychains, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. We got a lighter, and it's a Zippo lighter, but it's a modern one, New York Giants. And then we got a match holder. So as you can see, a lot of the stuff in here is more modern, a little bit underwhelming so far. You got a pocket knife and another pocket knife, Dakota. But there are a couple things in here that definitely are gonna increase the value. We got another pocket knife. And here is a magic crystal from probably the year 1000 BC. No, I'm just kidding. Well, you guys, it's time to show you the two valuable items. And first up is an 1898 sharpshooter of the 7th Regiment Rifle Club badge. Now, I believe the 7th Regiment was from New York, like the New York National Guard. Not 100% certain, but that's just off the top of my head of what I think I remember. And this is from the 19th century. This is Spanish-American War era, and it's even has a name on the back. WB, let's see, WB or WR Moby, possibly is what it says. But this is not something you come across every day. There are a lot of collectors out there for old regiment items, Spanish-American War era military pins. And I'm going to put a value on this one of, it's probably worth $50 or $75 by itself. It's very heavy, good quality. So this was a very neat find, but there's one more. Here is another one. This is a small arms practice 7th year marksman, and it has the New York State seal on the front. So this is probably the same 7th Regiment New York medal. And the thing that makes this one really unique is if you zoom up on the back right here, it is made by Tiffany Co. This is a Tiffany Co. medal, probably also turn of the century. And there are a lot of collectors for Tiffany Co. medals, and I've had one of these before, which was also from New York. But this is probably like $100 medal as well. So you got two medals here. I might sell them together just to keep them together. They might have belonged to the same soldier, most likely they did, but this is a great find in an otherwise underwhelming lot of collectibles. But there are two gems. So let's open up the next box. All right, here is the next box, and this was another eBay purchase. Apparently this all came from the same estate, and I paid up for this one. I paid a lot of money, $140. I'm gonna open it up now, and I'll tell you why this is an amazing find. Okay, first up we have some old money, and this is foreign money. So this looks probably from the Middle East or African nation. Half dinar, Bahrain. So I think Bahrain is a country in Asia. So there you go. I'm not sure what year this is from or how much it's worth in US dollars, if it's even worth anything. And next up we have a Japanese government $100 pesos bill. I do think this is a post-war, probably from the Philippines. Japanese government pesos. What do you guys think? It's a nice crisp bill, not too bad condition. Not really sure what that's worth. And then in here we have some very neat little pins and medals. And first up we have some glasses. These are some very old glasses. You got the name of the jeweler optician right there. These are probably turn of the century. Next up we have some cufflinks. I'm gonna have to check if these are gold. Sometimes little cufflinks like this can be gold. This one looks like it possibly might be, but it's missing a little gemstone right there. All right, we got some World War I collar disc, and this is the U.S. Army quartermaster. So this is from World War I era. And we got another one right here. It's got the U.S. symbol. Now, collar discs can sell for a lot of money. It just depends on what the insignia is for. And then, of course, you got a World War I U.S. victory medal. Looks like the ribbon is half torn. That's pretty cool. And here is the ribbon itself that goes with that medal. I'll set this aside. And we also have, it looks like all this came from the same person, because I noticed a theme. So this is kind of like, I'm not sure entirely what it is, but it's like a medical symbol. Maybe he was a doctor or something of that nature. We got some old Asian coins. These are probably Chinese coins. And we got another collar disc here. And here's another cufflink, just like the other one. I'll find out if that's gold. And another old coin, 1943. So this stuff ranges from like early 19th century to World War II era. And, oh wow, this is an infantry D company collar disc, and this is from actually post World War I. This is like 1920s up to the 1930s era. Got some old nail clippers. So this is my favorite type of purchase, where everything, like, you can obviously tell all of this came from the same person, the same estate, and it's like opening up a little time capsule, and I really enjoy that. This is a B company infantry collar disc. And we have some more coins. Let's check out these coins. 1943, so this is World War II era as well. King George. And here's that common theme I was telling you about. This is the American Public Health Association from Chicago, dated 1918. So World War I era. They might have been a member of the Public Health Association. Like I said, maybe a doctor. Unfortunately, there is no name to this stuff. Here's another Chinese coin. Here are some old scissors, strange looking scissors. What is that, for like sewing or a button or something? Another what looks like a Public Health Association pin. Another collar disc. This is another quartermaster. Oh, this is super cool. This is a U.S. service little lapel pin. So each stripe represents, I think it's like 2 or 3 years in overseas. So I'm just, you know, maybe this is like a 4-year service. You guys let me know in the comments. But this is a nice little enameled pin from World War I. That's probably like a $20 or $30 pin. And then we have a World War I campaign ribbon. Now, I've had one of these before. I can't remember this little color scheme, but I think it's for like the VFW, maybe post-war VFW pin for a World War I veteran. Let me know in the comments, you guys, but it's definitely an old one. All right, it brings me to the last 2 items, and these are the most valuable for sure. So far, this little lot has been pretty good. Nothing crazy value so far. Probably equals up to around $100. But this stuff is really gonna bring me up in the profit zone because this is a very rare Montgomery, Alabama insurance admit to Fireline fire badge, and this is super cool and seldom seen. I have bought and sold old fire badges in the past. I have never seen one like this, and this is, so basically the reason it says insurance is because the insurance agent would have to go assess the fire damage, and they would have to wear this badge to gain entrance to look at the damage done. And these are very collectible, very rare. This one's not a big badge, it's a smaller one, but it's probably from turn of the century to early 1900s. In fact, I think it says 1912. I think that might say 1912. But yeah, a very odd and unusual fire badge, but that makes it all the more collectible, highly collectible. And that brings me to the next fire badge, and this is another one. This is a Montgomery Fireline insurance badge, and this one's a little bigger and it's a little more ornate. You got the fire helmet on the front, and this is super cool looking. Now, as you can see, the condition is not perfect. It's over 100 years old. It's got some like some tarnish and wear to the finish of the front of it and the back. I'm not seeing any maker marks on this one. I'm just gonna go with my gut here, and I'm gonna say this might be older than the other one. This might be like early 1900s, turn of the century, while the other one was from, what did it say, 1912. But this is extremely collectible, and man, I think the value on these, I think they're worth at least a few $100s each. The one on the left is probably a little less than this one. I'll put a value on this of maybe $300, and this one maybe $500 to $700. I know it kind of sounds like a stretch, but these Fireline insurance badges are very rare and sought after by collectors. And it also depends on what city or state it's from. Like if you ever get a fire badge from the early 1900s from San Francisco or Los Angeles, somewhere on the West Coast like that, it's gonna be a lot more valuable than Montgomery badge. But yeah, you guys, two other great finds, 2 diamonds in the roughs. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video showing these little unique finds. You just never know what you'll find. Sometimes you'll just see a bunch of junk, but hidden inside are some treasures. So keep hunting out there, you guys. If you like this content, Please like and subscribe to my channel. Drop a comment. Take care, everyone.